like most scrimmages at this time of year. Some real good, some not so good. Some things we got to correct. But we went in to correct, we had to correct. You know, the most important thing coming out of that scrimmage to me was fundamentals. Run game fundamentals, pass coverage fundamentals, pass rush. Are we coordinated? Are we doing things the way they're supposed to be done? Are we doing things the way we've been practicing them here for the last 2-3 weeks? So, like I said, work in progress. Definitely some good, some real competitive moments.
We saw you talking to Coach Hall Coughlin out there. Just how is it seeing a legendary coach like him, and what do you sort of ask a guy like that when he comes to see you guys?
Coach Coughlin, I've actually been fortunate enough to talk to a few times since I've been down here. I don't think you'd have a better resource in professional football. You know, when I was younger, he was down here and built this from the ground up. And there's a tremendous tradition here, a rich tradition, because of what he did. You know, guys like him and guys like Tony, they were able to win really early. He set the precedent for what the culture should be. And we want to have a culture very similar to that. Being tough, doing your job, being accountable, being a great teammate, caring about the people, coach, all that stuff. That's what he's about. That's why he's able to win the way he has it, the way he had it, the time of his career, wherever he was. You know, small school college football, Boston College, pro ball. You know, and I was fortunate enough, like I said, growing up in Jersey, grew up a Giants fan, and we became the Giants, and we worked at the culture there. We wanted the highest level. So what he says matters, and it works. Right.
Liam talked about it at the scrimmage about the one defensive line, pass rush, just Josh, Trayvon. Just what have you seen out of those guys as campus comes from guys?
Yeah, we got a bunch of talent there on the edge. And again, I'm just always going to go back to what's our play style. You know, being that way, 1,000 miles an hour, every snap of the game. When those guys can bring it that way, it does a lot for our defense. I saw a lot of good things from them the other night. They've been competing their tail off every day out here in camp. Matt Edwards has been on, you know, been grinding them, and they're responding to the coaching. So I've seen a lot of good things out of them so far this summer.
Why the move to bring Levi Wallace in?
Just another veteran guy who's had success in his career. You know, I think that's whenever you can have that or add that to your roster, it's important and obviously helpful. He's got a wealth of knowledge, playing in a bunch of systems, and he's just a good, high-character guy. It's a good football player.
Sorry, Coach. How much value does a guy like DeJuan Smoot bring to the defense when you can see him line up inside and outside, depending on the situation?
Yeah, he's got a bunch of value because, you know, he's a three-down type of guy. So, you know, he can play early down. He can play, obviously, pass rush situations. He can move around. Super smart guy when it comes to the rush. Has done a bunch of that, coordinating that in his history as a player in this league. So, and he's a super coachable guy. You know what I mean? Tough guy. So, I like him. I like being around him. He brings a lot to us.
Josh had said, like, him and Smoot, you know, they've played so many games together, they're kind of just in sync out there. Is that something that you can see as a coach?
Yeah, you can see that in the relationship with people. You know, when you bring a guy into the building, what's important is the chemistry and the energy too. That's like the unspoken part about pro football. You got to bring the right people in the building, and guys here already have a relationship with them. And everybody was happy to have him back. You know, I know Josh was, and also especially.
Liam Cohen talked about how versatile Devin Lloyd is, and we're really excited to see him. Is he being versatile under you? I mean, I know you're very versatile now.
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job moving around. We try to move him around with his alignments. He does some different things based on what the down distance or situation is for us. So he's done a good job. He's kind of taking on all those roles and running with it. He's a smart football player and a guy that I said in the spring he was kind of always doing extra. Always hanging around the building, trying to watch tape, ask questions. And you really need to be one of those guys when you have like a multiple, when you're asked to do multiple roles. You know.
What about Tyson do you like, and how does he fit in your scheme? Tyson Campbell.
I think he's a really competitive guy at the point of attack. You know, there's a guy who's had success in this league and he loves to be coached. It doesn't matter, like he's never really sitting still. If he's got downtime, he's doing drill work. He goes out there and tries to compete against our best players every day, challenges himself, always asking questions, and certainly demanding of himself. You know, critical in the most positive way, watching his technique every day, trying to get better. So those are the guys we are coaching. We're fortunate to have him. I'm fortunate to have him.
And you like him in your scheme?
Do. Yeah, I love what he does because I think he can play with vision on the ball. He can get up there and challenge and play press. He's physical. But yeah, all facets of his game definitely apply to what we do.
With Mason on pup, Eric kind of week to week, what have you seen from that inside rotation of DTs? Saw Peavy kind of get a little bit of run opposite Jordan Jefferson. What have you seen from some of those young guys?
Those guys, they're working hard for us, you know. We're just trying to develop consistency in there, and I think those guys are getting a lot of good work. You know what I mean? I thought they did some really good stuff in the scrimmage. I thought Lacey had a good scrimmage the other day. You know, I thought those guys are working hard, running to the ball. And the biggest thing that we talk about a lot is not staying blocked. And they're doing it, you know, whether they're grinding blocks or playing primary, secondary, or getting penetration. They've been doing what we're asking them to do, and we're going to keep asking them to do that. We're a great level of consistency.
In the scrimmage, Travis started on offense, and then he switched the jerseys, goes to the defensive side. Could you kind of talk about that process? Was it communicated to you that he's coming to defense, or
we kind of had that set in motion, you know, where he's going to be. But he does a lot of that in practice. You know what I mean? One period he may be with us, the next period with them. Some days he may start on defense, then he's working offense. There's meeting schedules, very much like that. So, like I said, the last time I was up there, he's done a really good job with that. And I think Liam's done a great job coordinating it. You know, it's been demanding on him, but he's responded in every way.
And then just, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's still early, but do you think he has flexibility to kind of move around on defense a little bit?
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. I mean, he can do a whole lot. You know, I think there's everything I've watched him do to this point has been really impressive. So I think there's really sky's the limit when it comes to what he's able to do.
Camp, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cam.